How's it going, Day Gatherers? This is Kelly the Flicker Guy, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about Spider-Man today.
That man's an imposter. That man is the imposter.
It's coming out. On the 19th, we'll get pre-release, and then the following week after that, we'll get the full release. I just wanted to kind of just give my little quick opinion on it. I don't have much to say outside of, as always, the prices are way too high. We're not even going to talk about collector booster boxes because, yeah, they want an arm and a leg for it, and I'm not buying it. I can't afford that. If I can get one at MSRP, then we'll probably look at it. But what I'm really focusing on are the standard cards, the play booster boxes, and the like. I honestly think that it shouldn't have even been a standard set. I know Wizards wants to put the Marvel IP and into standard and all, but it's kind of designed out like it could have been 5 Commander decks. You got the Peter Parker, and then you have the Norman Osborn, you have Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, and you have Eddie Brock. These kind of encompass all the colors from the entire set, and most of the cards that are actually in the set, if you go and look at the reveals of all the cards in the set, a lot of them could have pivoted right into these decks. Just as with the Norman Osborn, you could have easily put in all the villains. Same thing with Eddie Brock, could have used some of those higher CMC villains and things like that. Get a little bit of crossover into the Spider-Man and the Gwen Stacy deck and the Miles Morales decks, because of course there's a lot of stuff, that Exile stuff, and you can play from Exile, which would have worked great with Gwen Stacy, that Ghost Spider. And then you have Miles Morales, which is just kind of a Naya beefy buff deck. So, and then with the web sling and stuff, you could easily put that into the Peter Parker and went with that Spider-Man concept, because yeah, that it pretty much would have made a great set of 5 Commander decks that people could explore, and then some of the additional cards like that Soul Stone or things like that they didn't want to necessarily put into a Commander deck could have easily just went into a booster box, a collector's booster box like they're already doing. Put some of the cards in there with their treatments and things like that. It could have been a lot like how they did with the Doctor Who set, but then and the difference would be that they would have additional cards in that Commander booster box, which is why people would want to buy it. But then people who just wanted to play the game, want to play with those spider cards, can get them, and we wouldn't be doing this back and forth now trying to get these cards. And with it being a smaller set, some people are not too excited about buying these boxes. So we'll see. It's all about buy the singles, but you want to support the company as well, because somebody has to buy the boxes. But yeah, the set is looking kind of interesting. Like I said, I'll bet a lot online of like Assassin's Creed, how that set was super small, but they gave many more cards to kind of give a little bit more play with the cards. That the one mechanic that I am excited about is the web slinging, because it is that pseudo, almost, could be a little bit fair, maybe, ninjutsu like. Yeah, I really just want to make a deck with that Peter Parker as the commander, make a band web slinging deck with a few ninjas in there as well, and kind of go that route and see what we can get out of this web slinging, because it's really cool. You bounce back a creature, which is almost a great way to protect something too, and if you can give it instant speed, you can do this off your turn at any time, because you're just casting a creature for a bat when it comes to that Spider-Man. And then with the other cards that actually have web slinging on them, whatever their cost is, you can actually basically cast those guys for that alternate cost and save you some mana and, profit. So it's pretty cool. A couple other highlights from the set that I wanted to kind of mention was the Anti-Venom. Mono white, that's my thing. So of course I'm probably going to build a deck with that. It's just basically you get the pariah effect. If you can actually put pariah on the field, equip it to that creature, or they also had a card with great power. Comes great responsibility. So you have that as well, which is pretty cool, and it just makes a interesting deck. And with them adding the Dawn Sire in the last set, we're going to see a lot of people getting KO for 100 plus damage. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum in black, we have Gwenom, which is basically a Bolas Citadel on a creature. She attacks, the trigger is delayed, so it stays for the entire turn, even if somebody does remove her. And you just basically pay with your life and cast stuff on top of your deck. I don't think I need to kind of give you all the details on how to make that work, but Sensei's Divine Top is a great addition to that whole set, or that deck. And if you really want to make your friends mad, add the Aether Flux as well. You didn't hear that from me though. And then yeah, the set as a whole is just kind of I do in some aspects see it as a win more because you have stuff like the imposter syndrome, which is just cloning all of your creatures, even if they're legendary, making them non-legendary. The Soul Stone in itself, if you're in black, why would you not have that card? It's a 2 mana rock for black. So with the upside of being able to bring creatures back from the graveyard, is wild. Cool card, and I'm assuming we're gonna see more of those in future Marvel sets, where we'll get the other Infinity Stones, and that'll be an interesting thing to see as well. Other than that, a lot of these other, cards like Spider-Punk is really cool. I think he'll do really well in maybe modern. We might see him do an uptick with with a lot of this Rush Red stuff going on, and in standard he might play a part there. Either way, could be pretty cool. You have Lady Octopus. She has a cool vibe with her as well with the artifacts. So I mean, there are some pieces here and there that are really cool. I know a lot of people would just love to do the universes within, which I did see that from Arena. If you take a look at some of those cards, they're really cool. They're really clever, and they're in the Magic universe. Honestly, I wish Wizards would have doubled up the set by adding in the Spider-Man as well as the stuff from the Arena set and put them together so you can find multiple copies. So you can get these two different ones, Spider-Punk and this one. It'd have been kind of cool for people who love to just be in Magic, in the world of Magic, and don't want to explore the other IPs. But like I said, that's neither here nor there. And maybe they'll do it in a future set because they can always reprint it with those in universe versions. That's all I really got to say about Spider-Man. Definitely, if y'all have an opinion or any thoughts on the set, please leave them down below. I love to hear your thoughts. And I look forward to the next set with Avatar. That one should be an interesting set because it's a much bigger set and it looks like they really went full in. So it might be on the lines of Final Fantasy, things like that. Sucks that it's only the first Avatar, the last Airbender with Aang, but because I was hoping for some Korra, but it seems like they really have taken to the bending stuff and did some really cool things with cards like Toph, and even the airbending mechanic itself should be pretty interesting because I love Flicker. I might be playing in white. We're gonna see how it goes. But that's all I got for today, guys. Hopefully y'all hear from me again soon. I'm working on some more gameplay. Hope y'all liking those. If you haven't, please check out the last few gameplays that we have had, and leave a like and subscribe. You know what I mean? We're trying to get that road to 1,000, get up into that fun territory. So until then, guys, the gathering is in the black. I'll catch y'all later.